on, everybody? All right, we're going to talk lease purchase. Yeah, that dreaded word, lease purchase. Dreaded words, right? Some people in the trucking industry say they would never, ever do a lease purchase. Some say that it's no good. Everybody knows, everybody on the, radios and all this, everybody has an opinion, right? And a lot of times in business, people, they're really opinionated and they don't really look at the whole story. And yes, there are a lot of bad lease purchase programs out there, but the same thing, if you buy from a bank and you don't pay, the bank's going to take the truck. So it doesn't matter. But here's the thing. There's ways to do the lease purchase. It's just another way of financing a truck and doing your business. So leasing stuff is not a bad thing. If you look at all the big corporations, in the world, a lot of them lease the stuff. There's a big trucking company that leases most everything they have. I'm not going to say who they are, but people can figure it out. But here we go. Here's my opinion on it. Well, for one, I wouldn't do a lease purchase from any company where I have the truck that they dispatch you. Because here's my theory on that. If you're letting them dispatch you and you're lease purchasing a truck through them, then your dispatcher is the CEO of your company. Now, did you get that? Did you catch that? People are going to say, no, he doesn't. It's my corporate, if you got an LLC or whatever you have, or sole proprietor. You say, no, I'm the boss. No, you're not. Because if they're dispatching you, if your dispatcher's dispatching you, he's the boss of your company. But see, what he doesn't know is how much money you need to make a day to be able to afford your truck, your home, all your home bills, and any excess money you need left over. See, he has no clue. And that's where people get in trouble, right? Because they do these lease purchases and this guy's dispatching them, and towards the end of the week, load cancels or whatever, you're sitting for a day or two, you're not making any money, and then he gives you a load on the weekend and it's not very far, and then now you're in the hole. And you tell him, hey man, I need to make some money, I got to get out of the hole. Well, he's got 200 or 300 other drivers he's dispatching, so it could even get worse. You could even go further in the hole. And then what happens? That's where these lease purchase things that people have a bad deal about them. But see, that's the same thing when it goes, if you were buying a truck from ABC Bank, one of these banks, doesn't matter what you call the bank, all the big banks, that's why I just call ABC. All right, you get your truck through ABC and you're buying it. See, people think, oh, I'm gonna buy the truck. Doesn't make a difference how you get it, okay? So you got the same dispatcher. So you're at a company where you're getting dispatched. Well, same thing. If he doesn't run you enough, you can't pay for the truck, ABC going to call that wrecker up and come repo it. So there's no difference, right? It's just a different form of how to buy a truck. Now, lease purchasing through companies, yeah, it's okay. As long as you lease purchase it, in my opinion, through a company where you can dispatch yourself, because that way you're in total control of how much money you make. So you can make the payments on the truck. You know how much money you need to make for home, because if you can't pay your bills at home, it's not going to work. Okay? So that's my biggest rule. If you're going to do a lease purchase through a company, make sure you're with a company to where you can actually pick your own loads. You can dispatch yourself. All right? So here's the types of leases. Now, you got a real lease purchase is set up like this. 3 or 5 year, okay? And at the end of that lease, you have the option to purchase or a buyout. They call it a residual, just like if you're leasing a car. You got a residual amount. And that amount is not $1. Okay, if you got a lease purchase and you say, oh, the buyout's $1, that's really not a lease. Okay, that's just a glorified way of they're putting it, but it's really you're purchasing the truck. Because if you look in the IRS rules and all these different rules out there, if you're doing a lease purchase, just like on a car, at the end it has to be fair market value of what that car would be worth at the end of that 5 years. So at the end of 5 years, that truck, if you're doing a 5 year, it's a $150,000 truck, and 5-year-old trucks are going for $35,000 or $40,000 or $50,000. That's what the lease buyout should be: $50,000, $40,000, whatever, somewhere in there. And if you're doing a 3 year, you're probably in upwards of $55,000, $60,000, depending on the truck. So, and what all that means is at the end of that time, you have the buyout. And then there are certain types of lease purchases where you can buy or you can walk away. Depends how your deal's set up. Always read your contract. See, that's where guys fail to realize. It's never these companies' fault. All right, if you sign your name on that line and it's a lease purchase, or even at the bank if you're buying it, read every page, every word. Because if you don't read the contract, it's in the contract, right? If they say, oh, well, they done this to me, done that to me. No, it's in the contract. You signed it. See, that's where people make mistakes. If you're now in business, you need to read the contract. If you don't understand the contract, take it to a lawyer. Let them read the contract and explain it to you. All right, but that's number one. If you're sitting down to buy this truck, lease purchase, or even getting it through the dealership, or your own bank, read the contract, read the fine print, okay? Because it's all in there. It's all in there. If you don't make the payment by a certain time, the grace period, they're going to charge you X amount of fees for this, X amount of fees for that, and so forth. It's all in there. For them to charge you anything extra, it's got to be spelled out in the contract, and it's in there. So, do your homework. That's why I say do your homework. Read the contract. All right, so now if you do a lease purchase, and you're picking your own freight. So, what I tell people, hey, just like if you're buying the truck, if you buy the truck through the bank and you don't make enough money, don't pay for it, what's going to happen? They're going to come and repo it, right? It's going to be on the hook. So, same thing. You don't pay the company, they come get it because they're the bank. See? And that's another thing. You have a maintenance account with these companies. If you do it through a company, you'll have a maintenance account. Well, something happens to the truck, it's not the company's fault. It's your truck. You're buying it. All they are is the financial institution, like a bank, that gave you the truck. They financed it for you. Don't go back to them and say, hey, this is bad or that's bad. You're now an owner, operator, business owner. You fix the truck. It's your truck. It's your problem. See, a lot of people, they think it's just because they got it through a company that it's the company's. No, it's not. It's yours. Okay? Some companies are more lenient and they help people out a lot more than what a bank would. Because think about it. If you bought a car, right? You bought a car, doesn't matter what brand it is, and you get it from ABC Bank, right? They finance it. And you go and something happens to that car, right? Let's say the brakes fail after 5,000 miles. You don't drive it to the bank and say, hey, fix these brakes or take the car back. The bank's going to laugh at you. You take it back to a dealer that made the car, that brand dealer that sells that car, and if it's under warranty, you have them fix it. If it's not, you pay for it. So it's the same concept with the trucks, okay? And then with the lease purchase, you got two types. You got that lease purchase with the maintenance account that most companies will have, and the reason why they have it is because a lot of people won't maintain the truck. And if they get the truck back, then they're going to want to make sure they have money, out of your account that they can fix that truck so they can resell it. All right, so they don't lose a lot of money, which is a smart business decision on their part. And then at the end of that lease purchase, if you have, you know, $3,000 or $4,000 left and you have a walk away at the end, you know, then you can get that money back as long as the truck is in, you know, good running condition for that year and so forth and so forth, and you didn't, you know, wreck it and stuff. And then there's other type of lease purchase, which is what I have, is a full maintenance lease purchase. And what that is, there's no maintenance account, but you know, you pay a set amount for the truck, your payment plus whatever your mileage contract says, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cents, whatever it is per mile. So if your payment's $1,800 a month and your contract is 6 cents a mile and you do 10,000 miles, then that's $600 on the 8, so you're paying $2,400 a month. Okay. The big difference between the full maintenance lease and the regular lease purchase with the maintenance account is this: if the truck breaks and it's $5,000 to fix it, and if you have a maintenance account with only $2,000 in it, you got to pay the other $3,000. Okay. On the full maintenance lease, if it's $5,000 to fix it, and out of all your mileage that you paid in, you only paid in $2,000, it doesn't matter. The dealership, they take the loss for that. They fix it. Okay, no more money comes out of you. They don't ask for no more. They don't charge you no more. But on the other hand, here's the downside. If you have the maintenance account one, and you got $10,000, let's say, in the maintenance account, and it's towards the end of the lease, and it's, you know, you have a $5,000 repair, and you got $5,000 left, you get the money back, right? It goes in your pocket. Now, in the full maintenance lease, at the end of that time, if I have a $10,000 repair, and they have $15,000 I paid in, they got $5,000 left over, and if I walk away, they keep the money. Okay, so that's the downside. But I take that risk because with these new trucks, they cost a whole lot. You know, they cost a lot of money to fix. So usually at the end of the 5-year period, they're either up a little bit, the dealership's up a little bit, or they're even. But they have the huge, you know, downside of being down. They got that big risk because, you know, if something happens with the DEF system or the turbos, you know, they could be in the hole really fast. So I just elect the full maintenance lease. You know, I tried it 5 years ago. It's been 5 years. Yeah, about almost going on 6 years. This is my second truck. You know, every 3 years I trade out. This truck here will be 2 years old, so next year I'll probably be trading out again. You know, when I first did it, I traded my truck in, and I took the money that they bought the truck from, and I looked at the full, you know, I was going to buy the truck. He said, try the full maintenance lease if you want to. He explained the program, and I could buy the truck at any given time. They amortize it like a house. So you get the sheet. If you do a 36-month or 60-month, you can look down where you're at and see how much the truck costs if you want to buy it. And you just go down and finance that money and buy the truck. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll try it. You know, and I tried it, and I haven't went back because, you know, I look at, I'm not in the shop very often, and when it is, I don't have to worry about that bill. And so it's a huge burden, you know, off you in the mindset of it, right? Because anytime you go down the road and you hear something, you're going, oh man, I hope I don't go to the shop, you know, because you don't know how much it's going to cost you. And then, you know, Steve Allington, you know, he gave out some numbers on his YouTube video. And so, you know, if you do your numbers, and, you know, I don't care who you are, if you got a used truck or an old truck, you know, if you're still making a little bit of a payment on it, or even if you own it outright, when you figure out all of the time, you know, that's been in the shop, all the downtime, and you put a monetary value to that, you know, if you make $500 a day when you're trucking, well, if you're in the shop for 9 days, that's $4,500 that you lost revenue. But, you know, if you take all that with the maintenance that it costs you to pay on that and so forth, and you do the math, you'll find out, you know, most people find out that even though the truck's paid off, it's costing them what a truck payment would be anyway to maintain it. So you know, do your math and check it out. All right, this video is getting long. There you go, lease purchase. In my opinion, there's a few rules I have. You know, everybody's different. You can do, you know, you do what you want. But to me, if I was going to lease purchase a truck through a company, I'd only do it at a company where you could pick your own freight. If you know, you could dispatch yourself, because that way you're in total control of your business. You're not letting the guy that you know, you don't even know run your business. If you buy a truck through a bank, we'll do a video on that, because I've been there, done that. If you pay cash for a truck and you have a used truck, we'll talk about that. Done that. So in other words, that'll be it for now. Rob out in Texas, here's your video. You know, I done the video. You're crying about the video. I haven't done a video in a while. Well, here you go. I'll just do it on lease purchase this time. Same thing with Doug, you know, out there in Pennsylvania. I know you guys are doing all the short stuff, making the money. But we'll talk to y'all later. Everybody be safe out there. Winter's coming. There's snow in the forecast. Slow down. Increase your following distance. You know, you'll get there. You know, don't get in a hurry. You know, you arrive safe. It's better than, you know, running hard and arriving late or not at all. So slow down, increase that following distance. Plus the holidays are here, and you'll see these people going down the road. You know, they're not paying attention and so forth. But everybody be safe out there. We'll see you.